To the ice age of 2026. I am fully prepared and braced for the elements here. Welcome in, everybody. I'm meteorologist Ross Mummah, 8 p.m. stream. It is quite chilly outside, and it's also quite cool in the First Coast News studio and newsroom here as well. So figured I would at least break out the winter coat. Got the nice fur-lined hood on. Hopefully, Lewis Turner, my sidekick, approves. I will take this off for the rest of the stream because if I keep it on much longer, I will be sweating in here with the HD lights. But outside, you're definitely going to need it. It is quite cold. Temperatures out there right now, anywhere from about 20 to 25 degrees colder than we were at where we were at this time yesterday, primarily because the winds have just been cranking all afternoon and continuing through the evening. Now, I'm going to give a garner, but I'm going to guess that 245 mile per hour wind gust in St. Augustine probably is not accurate. So I'm not sure what's going on with the sensor down there in St. Augustine, but sustained winds for the most part, anywhere from about 20 to 25 miles per hour. But the wind gusts, oh my gosh, we had a 46 mile per hour gust just a few minutes ago in Orange Park there, NAS Jacks. Similar story in Mayport. So a swath of some very gusty winds heading through central and eastern Duval County right now. Wind gusts for the most part are really anywhere between about 30 and 45 miles per hour. Although earlier this afternoon, it was just before our I guess we were here at 4 o'clock. Our 4 o'clock stream, there was a wind gust of 54 miles per hour in Gainesville in Alachua County. So we do still have a wind advisory in place that'll run from now through 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Sustained winds, as I mentioned, about 20 to 30 miles per hour. Gusts are possible upwards of 40 to 50 miles per hour. So I would say, bring your trash can inside or anything that's not strapped down outside. You need to bring it in, but it's kind of little, too little, too late, essentially, with the wind gusts. I mean, yeah, your trash can's the whole way down the street at this point in the evening. So you're going to have to go out there and pick all that stuff up here probably by tomorrow morning if it hasn't already scattered. But it is a very, very windy night. That is going to continue during the overnight period. Expect the tree branches to kind of be rattling up against the side of the house if you got one of those kind of houses, almost like in a scary movie a little bit. But it will still be windy tomorrow, just not as gusty. So gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour today or this evening. Tomorrow, sustained winds 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusts 20 to 25. So it will be a windy day, just not as bad, and will gradually improve as tomorrow wears on and into Monday, essentially. But the biggest story outside of the wind is certainly going to be the cold, the extreme cold warning that we have in place. That's going to go into effect in just under an hour now at 9 p.m. this evening and run until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Now, this used to be called a wind chill warning. And the last time we had one of those here on the First Coast was back in 2014. So it has been well over a decade now since we've had a warning like this. The National Weather Service has changed the verbiage in the warning. But with temperatures out there already into the 30s, and then you've got wind gusts 30 to 35 miles per hour, it's feeling even colder. So the freeze has begun from Lake City to Jacksonville to St. Simons, Brunswick, Waycross. Low 30s, upper 20s. St. Augustine's even at 36. But oh my gosh, check out the wind chills, folks. So, this is 8 p.m. on a Saturday evening, the last day of January. We've got a wind chill of 14 in St. Augustine right now. 14. Now, my guess is that might be a little off because of the sensor having issues with the wind, but nonetheless, probably at least in the 20s. Now, Waycross, a wind chill of 16. Similar story in Brunswick, feels like 20 in Jacksonville, St. Simons, Orange Park. I'm trying not to sneeze, so I'm going to take a quick drink here, folks. But, bitterly cold considering we hit the 50s earlier today. This afternoon, we hit 54 in Jacks, and within about 3 to 4 hours, temperatures drop 15 to 20 degrees. Over 20 degrees now in Jacksonville specifically. So it is already bitterly cold, and that is just going to get worse and worse as the rest of your Saturday night continues, and certainly into your Sunday morning as well. So weather impact alert is currently in place. That will continue through the rest of tonight, through the entirety of the day for your Sunday, and also into Monday as well. Sunday morning lows going to be anywhere from the mid-20s at the beach all the way down to perhaps the upper teens across the Okefenokee and some parts of the northern Swanee Valley. Then you look at the wind chills, could be feeling anywhere from about 15 to almost 7 degrees, a real field temperature of 7 degrees here on the First Coast. And even by the afternoon, temperatures themselves will warm into the 30s and perhaps the low 40s for some, but wind chills pretty much staying stuck in the 30s nearly all day long. So this cold air has quickly enveloped the First Coast as this coastal low continues to strengthen and intensify now up across really the Outer Banks just to the northeast of us up across the Carolinas. So it is pulling in all this cold air. Also pulled in some snow showers. You see it there on satellite and radar. We had some earlier this afternoon, right around about 4 or 5 o'clock. The drier air, though, is really kind of just sucking away any remaining moisture that we have. So you kind of zoom in, a few lingering maybe flakes up across northern Camden and in the Glenn counties here, up towards Brunswick. But overall, things have started to dry out. There was one last wave there up across central Georgia, kind of just east of Macon earlier this afternoon, around 5, 6. As it has progressed further south and southeastward, you kind of see it there, right where those blue arrows are, just sort of withers away. That's that dry air essentially eroding away at the available moisture. So we were watching for the chance for maybe a few more flakes to hit portions of Pierce and Brantley and Glenn counties later this evening. Doesn't look like that is going to be the case. So any snow flurries that you did see today have probably come and gone at this point. But we do want to show you at least a few of the snowflakes and flurries that we have seen and have been sent in to us from either our First Coast News emails or our First Coast News Weather Watchers page on Facebook. This is from Angela Bureau out of Sanderson out there in Baker County. Plenty of flurries coming down there on the road as she was driving. A very pretty sight, and actually some relatively large flakes. When it's so dry outside, that often makes the snowflakes kind of very small and almost like crystallized, like powdery. It's when you have kind of that wet snow that you get these big wet snowflakes because they all start to clump together. That's not really the case today, but she did get some pretty nice looking snowflakes there. Let's head out now to St. Simon's Island. This was sent in from Frank, I believe a friend of Chief Meteorologist Lewis Turner's earlier today. So got some flakes flying there. We got another one from Tom Arnold out in Middleburg. And I mentioned on our evening newscast, this kind of just reminds me of like the inside of a snow globe. You know how it like sparkles and shimmers a little bit if someone shakes up the snow globe? That's kind of what it looks like there in Clay County. Despite the sun shining, there was enough moisture for at least some flakes to fly. Nothing laying there on the ground, though. Now, I will mention earlier this evening, we did have a very, very light coating up around Brunswick and St. Simon's Island around about 5 to 5:30. So there was a light coating of, snow on the ground there in Glenn County. Otherwise, no one else really saw any accumulating snow. Even Jacksonville at the airport, we did verify snow falling. Light snow did fall, but not enough to even make 1/100th of an inch. It's really just a trace. So it made for some pretty sights out there this afternoon and evening, but otherwise, don't have to be too concerned. Now, if you have friends or family further to the north, yeah, they certainly got the brunt of the snow up across North Carolina and South Carolina. They saw several inches. This is out of Hardeeville, South Carolina, so just north of Savannah, pretty much right across the state line from Georgia into South Carolina. And our one photographer, Adrian, and his wife, Leanne, took their dogs Blue and Thor. Blue is the Siberian Husky there on the right, and there's Thor, the little black pug. It was their first time getting to experience the snow, enjoying it, getting to roll around a little bit in it. So I love to see the pups out there in the snow. Thankfully, though, for us humans back here on the First Coast who don't want to drive in the snow, we won't have to worry about it. We'll watch for a few flakes across some of our farthest northern counties here tonight, but it looks like the snow threat is diminishing. However, the cold air continues to deepen and strengthen as those temperatures continue to go down. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll take you through the rest of tonight, hour by hour, and get you into your Sunday, because of course the Donna Marathon's going on tomorrow. We've got that full forecast here coming up for you in just a little bit. Welcome back in, folks. Hopefully you are staying warm out there on this very, very cold evening. I call this a double log night. Why? Because you got to toss that second log on the fire, get it roaring, get that fire blazing a little bit. Keep yourself a little bit warm and toasty and rosy out there as temperatures continue to get colder and colder and colder here tonight. We already looked at wind chills in the 20s and the teens already at 8:15. And by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, I mean, temperatures themselves going to be in the mid-20s out at the beaches and along the St. Johns River. But pretty much anyone else along and west of I-95, you're in the low 20s. Some of our far inland areas, as I mentioned earlier, across the Okefenokee and northern Swanee Valley, perhaps even the upper teens. We're talking 18, 19 degrees perhaps initially tomorrow morning. Wind chills, I mean, it's going to be rough, especially if you are not accustomed to it. Now, I know we have a lot of people who are transplants, right, who are snowbirds. They come down from the north, from north of the Mason-Dixon. Many of you, you're used to the snow. You're used to the cold weather. You thought coming to Florida for a time perhaps would allow you to escape the cold. Wrong-o, sorry about that. But, I mean, real field temps in the teens and the single digits. I mean, feeling like 8 in St. Simon's Island at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, 9 in Waycross, 14 in Palatka, 11 in Brooker. I mean, truly blustery, frigid conditions out there. Whether, you're going to church early in the morning, if you do your grocery shopping early Sunday morning, or perhaps you're going out to the beaches where thousands of folks are going to be for the 19th annual Donna Marathon and Half Marathon. It starts at 7:30 at Jacksonville Beach. And of course, the course goes up through at Neptune and into Atlantic Beach, kind of up towards Hanna Park. But I mean, at 7 a.m., we're trying to be optimistic, putting just a temperature of 26 degrees. Certainly could be colder than that. Winds out of the northwest still, though, 10 to 20 miles per hour with gusts upwards of 25 to 30. So wind chills down around about 10 degrees by the time the race kicks off tomorrow morning. And I mean, you'll notice it there. It's not going to improve all that much as the day wears on. Temperatures are going to struggle to get out of the 30s. We might hit the low to mid 40s by, 3:30 tomorrow afternoon, but wind chills themselves will be stuck in the 20s and 30s for a large portion of the day tomorrow. Of course, we spoke to someone out at the 5K earlier today, and they said, we train for this, the runners. They said that, the cold doesn't affect them. It's cold, obviously, once you first get out there, but if you've ever played a sport out in the cold, once you kind of get into it, your body sort of forgets how cold it is. So the runners really aren't all that concerned. It's more so the spectators and the workers, the folks who have to get out there early to set up and have to stay late after the event. I mean, you're spending an extended period of time outdoors in the frigid temperatures. So certainly, take a thermos of some hot chocolate or some warm soup to try to warm your body up a little bit. You certainly need every single layer possible. Hand warmers are going to be a lifesaver. Put them in the gloves, put them in the shoes as well, down near your toes, to keep your extremities as warm as possible, because it is truly going to be a bitterly cold morning and really just a blustery day all day long. Now, it will be sunny, especially, by about 10 a.m. and onward. Lots of sunshine out there, but it is going to be the coldest start to February on record for Jacksonville. 43, the high of 43 would tie the record, for the coldest high temperature, but a low of 21 will certainly be the coldest air temperature ever for February 1st in Jax. So truly, our coldest air of the year and coldest air ever for the start of February. It will continue, though, into the start of early next week. So Monday morning, check it out. I mean, beaches at the upper 20s, inland areas mid to lower 20s again. So not only are we talking about a widespread hard freeze tomorrow, but we're also going to have it Monday morning. So those plants that you've covered up or that you've brought inside tonight, or hopefully you have, if you haven't, please go out and do it soon. You're going to need to leave those inside for at least the next 2 nights, perhaps the next 3, depending on where you live. And this is going to be a time, especially, let me take it back a couple here to kind of tonight's lows. We're going to have an extended period of time with temperatures below freezing. So, we're talking 8, 12, 14 hours in some instances. So if you do, have a home that perhaps isn't as insulated as much, you definitely need to be thinking about dripping those pipes. If you have any outdoor, exposed faucets or anything like that, drip those wells you need to have covered up. We've done lots of stories on it on the newscasts themselves, but certainly the worst case scenario when temperatures get this cold is when you have a burst pipe. So certainly just keep that in mind tonight, Monday morning as well. And then by Monday afternoon, the winds finally begin to back off a little bit. So it'll still be rather windy tomorrow, not as gusty, but windy. Monday, more of just a very cool breeze, as temperatures will finally return back to the low 50s. So a very chilly day on Monday. You look ahead to Tuesday then, another inland freeze is possible. We got a morning low of 29 for Jacksonville. So our inland spots will have another hard freeze. Out towards the beaches, you're likely going to be in the low to mid 30s. So we'll watch for frost Tuesday morning, but shouldn't be a widespread area freeze. And then by the afternoon, we finally begin to warm up. Back into the low to even mid 60s for some folks. We're going to have a big area of high pressure smack dab over the first coast on Tuesday and a lot of dry air. So that really does a couple of things. High pressure, you almost can think of the atmosphere pushing more and more air down. Typically when the pressure goes up, that forces temperatures to often rise. Not all the time, but sometimes. You combine that then with the dry air, that will heat up faster, dry air will, than moist, humid air. So with the dry air and the high pressure, we are expecting a pretty wide diurnal range in temperature. So you're going from the 29 in the morning to 63 in the afternoon there, about a 30 to 35 degree temperature warm up for your Tuesday. And then check out Wednesday, back to 70. We'll give that one a round of applause. Some folks will be stuck in the upper 60s, especially across southeastern Georgia, but I do expect Jacksonville to hit 70 degrees by Wednesday afternoon, and that is going to be ahead of our next front. You see it there, Wednesday to Thursday, another 15-degree temperature drop down back into the mid-50s. Thankfully, the cold air won't be as big of a story with that next front. What will be, though, is going to be the rain chances with it. We do have some shower possibilities in the forecast with that next front. So we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about those rain chances. We'll cover that 7-day forecast, and then we've got a great story from meteorologist Robert Speta coming up here for you in just a couple minutes. Now, of course, the cold and the dangerous wind chills are the biggest talking point here tonight and through the rest of the weekend. But we always want to try to be forward thinking, looking ahead in the forecast, what is going to come next down the road that may be impactful to you in the planning of your life down in the future. So high pressures in place. I talked about that for Monday and Tuesday, but we will have our next front sweep in across the first coast by Wednesday evening and then continuing into Thursday morning. You'll notice it here, a little bit of a southwest wind throughout the day on Wednesday. That'll warm our temperatures up to near 70, but it'll also pull in some extra moisture out of the northeastern Gulf, and that will help to kind of fuel this kind of just line of some scattered showers primarily along this cold front by Wednesday night. Now, most of those rain chances will initially be across kind of our more western counties, the Suwannee Valley, inland southeastern Georgia. And then as you get more so into the overnight period and into early Thursday morning, that front drops southward, and then we expect this rain to kind of spread over the whole area to a certain regard. Again, we're not expecting this to be, thunderstorms. We're not expecting necessarily heavy rain at this time, but certainly some scattered showers is a good possibility and looks fairly likely at this point. And it may impact that Thursday morning commute. We're going to watch for some wet roadways, and we'll let you know if we issue a weather impact alert, depending on if we think it will be enough rain to cause some issues out there traffic-wise for the morning commute. So when you're looking at the 7-day forecast and you're thinking, okay, I didn't really see many flurries today, if any at all, and I certainly didn't get any rain. When's the next time I'm going to see rain? I would, peg it for Wednesday night and into Thursday morning. Notice that wind direction change from the southwest to the northwest between those 2 days. It will be cooler Thursday and still rather chilly Friday. We'll watch for another morning inland freeze Friday morning, but then temperatures will gradually begin to warm back up a little bit by the start of next weekend, back into the low 60s. But of course, tonight, please just take all the precautions you can with regards to those pets, plants, pipes if you need to, as temperatures continue to cool off. Many of us have already seen temperatures drop into the 30s. Some have already dropped below freezing. Jacksonville's below freezing. Lake City, Brunswick, Waycross, Folkston, Nahunta, all of us are now below freezing and will continue to be below freezing probably up until about mid-morning tomorrow. So dangerous cold. blustery wind chills as well. So maybe not the nicest, most optimistic forecast here, but maybe more importantly, next week, next Friday, the Artemis launch is going to want a great forecast. And we actually sent meteorologist Robert Speta down to Cape Canaveral for the rocket being pulled out. Here's him now.
Well, there it is. That is Artemis 2, the SLS, the Space Launch System carrying the Orion spacecraft. And this is going to take us back to the vicinity of the moon for the first time since 1972. And I'm telling you, somebody who just grew up always interested in astronomy and science, why I became a meteorologist. This is incredible. I almost lost for words. It's just Artemis, just to put you in perspective, is the Greek twin sister, it's a Greek god, twin sister of Apollo. This is following right in the heels of Apollo here. We're gonna go back to vicinity, not land on the moon, but much like the Apollo missions leading all the way up through Apollo 10, it circled and did everything but land. Artemis 2 is gonna basically follow that same guideline. They're going to circle, they're going to run all the tests, make sure everything works aboard the spacecraft. And then on Artemis 3, that'll be the next kind of Apollo 11, where they're actually going to land on the moon. But yeah, there's so much. We're going to be streaming live out here at the Kennedy Space Center throughout the launch when it does take place. And it's going to be a first and a once in a lifetime. So if you're in the area, watch it. If you're not, you can be watching live on our streams. But it is it's absolutely incredible. I'm truly lost for words. Just wow.